Okay, so let's start as usual with Nifty. Okay, I have been checking few of YouTube channels. I have gone through few analysts who have been covering index analysis and all. So more or less, all the analysts are quite confused because the pattern which is quite visible to everyone is the HNS pattern. Now the concern is that whether we are going to hold this HNS pattern as usual, the behavior it is, or we are going to negate this pattern. So there is no confirmation as such, and if we just go through media or some spokesperson who is on financial channels, so even they talk about say 10,900, 920. Once it crosses above, there is a smart recovery or some chances of holding new high. So everybody is very much confused, and we have been looking since last 2 weeks that we have touched 10,900, 920, and there could not sustain, and we made a low of 626 at the bottom, and then we are trying just to hold that back at 860. 10,860, and again there is a selling pressure which is visible there. So we are not just holding that level, and that seems to be a very important mark for a breakout. Maybe maybe main 200-day moving average makes sense to build up some confidence there. But when we just study individually, on indices, whether it's IT, whether we take consumption theme, FMCG, we take commodity, okay, everything is not showing signs of either a fresh breakout or giving us some support in terms of value. So they are actually trending down, and it seems that it's a long-term trend reversing. So whether you take this, whether you can correlate this with China and US trade war situation, or you can say it as a liquidity crunch faced by companies, or you can say that it is just out of season, wherein companies are not performing. So the idea is whether these companies are actually not performing, or these companies are not backed by liquidity, or it's just that election fever, or there is some expectation out of some budget. There is a slowdown on the screen, and all charts are talking one theme, that they are not ready to hold upper levels. So there is a weakness in volumes. There is lack of participation from HNIs or DIs, or funds are not comfortable taking long position at this point. Maybe they want a fresh government to take over, a sign of clearance wherein they can infuse fresh money. At the same time, there was a correction we face in Dow Jones. Okay, international markets are not performing to the mark. So there is slowdown everywhere. We have seen crude as well correcting from $87, made a low of $50. So there is a sharp volatility which is shaking the confidence on the screen, and there are lack of buyers, and the sentiment is totally broken. So at this point, what you should do, so out of experience I can say that we just need to follow the screen, whatever screen is saying. We don't have to apply much of our mind, because being a technical guy, we don't look at fundamental parameters. We just need to follow the candlestick trend, or whatever screen guides us, we have to just go forward, because it is only, we at the end we feel that it's a large money which is playing out, and following a larger money is what will give you money, right? So that is what I feel. So at this point in time, I have made my mind that January seems a bit of a result season, and screen is going to hold this, though there is a pressure because we have gone through IndusInd Bank, wherein there's a pressure on margins, increase in NPAs, and more exposure to IL&FS. Okay. We have seen TCS with decrease in margin. We have seen Infosys with decrease in margin from last 6 quarters. So at the end, market is looking for a reward. Market is looking for some celebration to take to new levels. But at this point in time, everything is just showing shaking confidence when we take international events, when we take domestic election period, or we take ILNF issue, or we take lack of liquidity into the system, everything. So the idea is what you will buy. We cannot buy more of an FMCG pack wherein Dabur has moved from 280 to 420, made a high of 500. HUL is already standing from 1100 to 1800. These are all stretched valuations standing at higher price multiple. So it doesn't give us much of a confidence to park our hard-earned money at this point, being a, if you are thinking from an investment perspective. So if you're thinking from a technical perspective, yes, we have some savior that we put some stop losses on our bets, and we can save our amount if we are wrong at this point. So I mean, trading is good to go, because we are not putting all our money at one go. We are not investing. So there is one point that if we are going to be wrong at this juncture, we will get many other opportunities to recover our money. So what is at present that we are facing? At present, we are facing a struggle. So you can see this area. So this is the area of bit of indecisiveness, wherein there is small, kind of moves happening, wherein Nifty opens kind of gap up, looking at Singapore, and cannot sustain the upper level. You can see the lower part, wherein RSI is actually losing the momentum, and it is trending down. Similar is the Nifty. It's a forming kind of symmetrical formation and a tighter situation like this, and it has to actually break. So we are on the lower part of the channel. You can see I have drawn this channel. So we are on the lower part of the channel near to midline. So the possibility of breaking down seems at this point kind of 60%. Okay. So what if we break this, the mid trend line upside, and consolidate here? Then possibility becomes more that we break to 11,088. So the max is 11,088, wherein we are going to touch this left wing of head and shoulder pattern. Okay, so there is a possibility, and at the same time, what if I have this line is my Lakshman Rekha, which is 10,540. Okay, this is my Lakshman Rekha. So anything below 10,540 gives me an impact that this market can correct heavily. And this is the blue line wherein all shorts will be in position into the system. All professionals will be into the system on a shorter side, which is 10,440, 10,438. This I have discussed last time as well. And if you remember that, if you just check my last video, I was talking about this level 550, and it just touched 550 and moved up. Okay, so you should note down the points. So now if you're trending down, the first point of confirmation is 726. If you're closing below 726, then we are trending down short term. Our initial support stands at 662. And if we break 662, we will be heavily watching at 545, 540 odd levels. If is it breaking or not. If it is holding and reversing, it's very good. It's a channel buy, channel bottom. But at the end, if we are getting a heavy volumes and we are breaking 10,438, we are out of the system. I am not going long in the system, because at that time I am eyeing 96.25 at the bottom. Okay. So one thing more I've analyzed, almost all the TV analysts, they've started watching Dow Jones. Earlier they were not. So I used to watch Dow Jones when I have given a target of 21,800 when Dow Jones was at 26,000. I guess I was the one which was covering in all YouTube channels. Okay, so we covered well, and our analysis were dot on the point. There was a good 5,000 point correction on Dow Jones. Okay, at this point, there is a divergence. So if even Dow Jones moves up or it consolidates at this point, Nifty is not going to show any correlation. So we will be the late performer on showing the negative performance. So there is again a remote possibility that we have this fake breakout. We have this fake breakout. That is one. Okay, and then we close down, or people are just looking to the break 900 channel. We don't make a new high, and then there is a sharp fall. So in that case, I want this to break. That's it. I just want it just touches 11,000 or something and don't make new high and then fall very sharply. Okay, for that I think we are on 12th of January and we have some 20 more days or 19 more days to go for budget on 1st of February, and there is an expectation which is rolling in market in terms of uh, long-term capital gain tax to be relaxed for next 3 years, or maybe some liquidity to the NBFC sector, or kind of schemes, Ponzi schemes, and maybe some announcement which may give public some relief when we talk about public. So in terms of taxation, okay. So since we have elections coming in, so BJP would try to win most of the support from the masses. So in that case, 19 days to consolidate, 19 days to prove, and most of the companies, the large cap companies, will be out of results. Okay, and we have third quarters, and so we'll get that valuation. Okay, so whether standing at this point, the valuation of Nifty is justified, or we should correct to some good levels of 18 multiple or 17 multiple to buy. So this is the time of confusion for sure, and stocks are not showing me good performance. We will surely go through other indices to get a better picture. So coming back to Nifty, I think we have strong points. On upside, we need to close above 10,907. Okay, so once we close that, our first target is 11,088. That is going to be my crucial point, and I'll start watching it. Okay, and if we hold that, we have 11,268. You can note these points. These are important points. On downside, if we are closing below 726, we are heading towards 662. If we close 662 below, we are heading towards 540. If you're closing 540, then we're heading towards 440. And if you're closing 440, that's a straight fall to 9625. So these are important points you can note down, and this will certainly help you. So this is a chart structure, and it's a situation wherein every step taken in a trading should be worked well. I mean, you should have good working on it. And I think option writing is a good program at this point till 25th of this month. And from there is a possibility, of making sharp volatility, because we have budget coming in. So close all your option writing till 24th, 25th, and just wait for a good volatility to happen. Once the trend is clear, you can make good money. Steel is performing well on downside. Tata Steel, long short at 570.72 triggered, and now it is standing at 472, 100 points below. So my target was 465. I think that will be on Monday itself, and that is one first target, and the second one is at 437. So there is a possibility some announcement which may come on China front. related to that trade war thing. So it turns negative. Metal is heavily negative. So I think metal's gonna make base, wherein Tata Motors will stand at 420, 430 odd levels, and SAIL will stand at 47 odd levels. So steel is done. Pharmaceuticals have already made their low, but they're just waiting for uh, good performance. Okay, so when we speak pharma, so we have one common problem, that's US FDA. So a lot of things are there, and pharma sector is not performing. FMCG is already shown good performance, and I don't think much of further upside. So we are capping it. I am negative on IT sector too. So we'll see one by one. I'm negative on IT sector too. So if something goes wrong, or some announcement from the Trump or anything, the chart structure is overbought, totally overbought. So a sharp knock of say 15% to 20% from the current level is visible on IT sector. So I'm not buying that as well. So at the same time, you know that the third quarter margins are also squeezing. Okay. So what to buy? Are you buying banks wherein ICICI Bank is standing at 380 odd levels? So for me, the max valuation for ICICI Bank is 392 to 404 levels. I'll be short on it. I will not buy. So if there is a crack on private sector banks, then I will certainly look forward if ICICI gives me a chance to buy at 260 or 250 levels, but not before that. And if I say public sector banks, already run up from you can see SBI, which is the main leader, from 250, it is standing at 305. And on the performance front, they are asking for fresh money. So ICICI have announced for 20,000 crores infusion into the system. So by bonds selling program. But the thing is that the performance is still to come, and it will take a while. And in this confusion of state wherein we have elections, I don't think that there is much room on upside, and we are struggling at this point. And it's a thirsty crow, and Nifty is a thirsty crow, and it is looking for some pebbles to be into the pot. So I'm not finding that. So that's a big hurdle. So that's on Nifty. I've already given you that levels. Okay. So I'll cover Bank Nifty now. Okay, when we talk about Bank Nifty, the pattern is almost same. This can be considered as head, and this can be the left wing, and this can be the right wing. And we have just crossed over this right wing and could not sustain. Okay, so could not sustain from the bottom. I've given this FIBO, and FIBO stands somewhat here, and it's again a struggling zone. It's a daily RSI. You can see it is just heading towards almost to the top and showing some signs of reversal. If I consider this weekly, the picture would look like this. The similar pattern wherein it has just crossed and could not sustain. Okay, so the initial signs of here we formed the doji. Okay, a kind of pattern, a spinning top kind of pattern, and I hope wherein this leg has crossed the left wing. At the same time, if I just see the RSI, it really could not hit the previous high. Okay, so there is a diversion in this. Okay, so there is a divergence, and I think this has to come down. Okay, back to the channel. So I have a strong point wherein if it closes below say 27,000, the trend changes and it will form a kind of evening star pattern. Okay, so for me the next month, if this month it does not close above 27,754, it's way too high. If this month I need a closing above this, okay, I need a closing above 27,740. If it closes above, for me there could be some kind of short covering or announcement in the budget which will take Bank Nifty to 28,676. 28,676. So 1,000 point move, straight up 1,000 point move from here, and that can be played, and that's where things will meet the heated level. Okay, so there is a room, and on a monthly scale, you can see on a monthly scale again, it's a heated zone. Okay, I'll just take this like a bigger picture. Okay, so on a monthly as well, it is heated, and we've shown the sign. This RSI is showing a reversal sign and a divergence. So net in net, there's a divergence, and I feel if this month is weak and if this month is not able to hold above, say, levels of 27,740 or 27,750 precisely, so this is going to form a weak structure. And next month there could be a candle which will form an evening star and max it. It's a shorting opportunity if we get to 27,500. Okay, so even media is shouting on these levels, 27,500 and 27,700. But if we are talking about levels, we need banking support. So I don't see more of price expansion or appreciation on private sector banks. So they've already performed well. So there is a reversal. You can see HDFC Bank is not able to even cross 2150, 2160. So if anything has to happen, only short covering can take this market on high side, and that is going to be a false one. And wherein longs, people who are not aware about these markets, don't have a negative experience, they might get trapped and they face a strong sale. So just be prepared for a big volatility which is going to come. And rest assured, there is one trend between budget and election. So if we are able to hold on budget day, okay, if we are able to hold on budget day on upside, that trend will continue on upside itself. Okay, just note down, this point is too important, and just frame your mind what I am saying. If we are able to hold on budget's announcement, if market is able to close on budget day above, say, 11,270, then this market is trending higher, and that trend may continue till election. Okay, so there is, again, saying the point of confusion is, for next 20 days we don't know what is happening, because since there are result, market is going to control this, and it's going to be range bound. So best strategy is to write options. After that, we need to look what is so stable and what is so enticing in this budget that market recovers and makes some short covering and holds the move. Okay, at that time the price expansion will be kind of short covering, and let's see who enters there. Okay, so probability at this point is on a negative side, and market is not able to hold. We turn bearish once we close, say, below 540 at the bottom. Okay, and we turn kind of bullish wherein price goes above 11,270. Okay, that can be stretched to first mark 12,750, and the second mark is 13,800. That will touch post election win of Modi if he comes again. Okay, so we are stressed on, just to summarize, we are stressed on private sector banks. There could be some room on public sector banks, but I think again they've risen to an extent wherein they need some kind of cool off. Okay, so net in net, I mean, buy on support and sell on resistance. There is an opportunity of short term trading or scalping, but that is again for the professionals, because otherwise, if you caught on wrong side, your stop loss are sure to hit. Okay, so that's my. Okay, that's all from my side. And if we currently talk about stocks, I'm not so confirmed and convinced with the stock behavior. So probably, scalpers, all those people who have open accounts with us, they are usually live with me, and they can see there is no movement happening in the Nifty, and whatever we are just getting, we are just scalping it. We had some 10, 12 points on Anderson on a shorter side. We traded Indigo on a shorter side. So you need to really, struggle to get all those 5, 10 points from the system. Okay. So since we are struggling, so it is all into the hands. We need movements. We need clear trends to make money. So there is no sharing as of now that what I am bullish at this point. Okay. So any questions?